David De Gea, 7 shots on
Does he
target,
say
7
looking like he's
goals.
trying to wing this one into
Let's
the
go!
top?
Play now, man. We'll play.
Oh, he's laid it.
It's him. You say it, Shem.
Nah, and I just see CJ sending the thumbnail when we want to go live. This guy's a psycho. He's ungoverned, man. He's ungoverned. What are you saying? How you been?
I've been calm still. Obviously talk about today, but sometimes you just have to give thanks to God and just be happy that you're alive to witness these sort of days, isn't it?
I've got to start drinking a lot of water, man.
Wait, what got you into drinking water?
No, I mean
Like,
you.
Me?
Yeah.
You
Just
start drinking water.
there's a time when Arsenal used to play, and it used to be in the doldrums where you are now. Eat and drink water before the game, because when the appetite goes on a Sunday night, ruin your whole Sunday.
No, I can't. I've gone part. I've had that stage already. Now United can't mess with my mood. Back in like September, October, you can't, bro. I'm telling you, at this point, like I'm gonna eat my food. I'm gonna continue living my life. United can't do this to me no more.
So since we're starting with the Manchester derby, let me host. Yeah. So just wait for some people to come in. If you're here, repost and talk to me. If you're here, repost and just put this in your group chats. It's gonna have a quick little. As a Man United fan, you want to be here because you could use this as a therapy session. We'll get your comments. I'm the host today, Oluwaseun Kante's cousin, and I'm joined by my ever faithful co-host, Banks. We're gonna give a quick breakdown, and we're gonna talk about the top of the table. Well, we'll start with the Manchester derby, which we all just finished watching a couple of hours ago. So, Banks. Rashford scores a screamer after his apology this week, which I don't
He
even
didn't
want to get
apologize.
into. Okay, his apology after his statement this week, which we don't even need to get into. But what did you think? Because that was a screamer and it was a special goal. But what did you think
I think
at that point? 10 minutes into the match, what did you think?
the City will still come back. But it was a night. It was like you left with something at least.
Yeah,
you always see we're gonna come back, but you leave with something. Like you leave with a Rashford screamer, a little silly. I mean, you know what's gonna happen next, but you leave with something. You leave something on the table.
Okay. Well, I was first and foremost. What happened? Me
You
watching the
leave
match.
something on the table. That's what's important.
Me watching the match as a neutral.
Oh,
I just thought you guys scored way too early. That's what I just thought. I was like, oh, good goal, but I wish this was like an hour later. Like, it was way too early.
The thing, like, you actually look at the way we played, yeah. We literally scored a goal out of nothing when we really we weren't getting that opportunity again. Rashford had the chance when he could have ran through. Should have done way better with that. But apart from that, we didn't. Like, this was literally a Luton or a Burnley coming to the Etihad, sitting back, hoping for the best. I can imagine if Odobert or if flipping Doughty just scored a long range screamer, and then you're hoping for the best against City. They're hoping to keep them up. It's the same damn thing. Same damn thing. Like, we could have scored in the 70th, we could have scored in the 7th. The pattern of the game was set.
Who in Man United gets onto Man City's bench? Not 11, bench.
Kobe Mino gets into that team.
The bench, yeah.
No, that team gets into that team.
What do you mean?
He can get ball with them.
No, he can't.
Kobe can't get ball with them.
No, he can't. And this is why people don't feel that sorry for you, because you end up saying a statement like this. He's good, but when you're playing, let me finish. He's good, but when you're playing around what you're playing around, it's capped because he's okay.
Nah.
You're saying it like he's a wonder kid. He's a special.
He's not.
He's okay.
He's not.
No, he's
okay.
Okay. He's actually okay. Like,
he's just okay. I'm just
we've seen special, like very, very special kids before. He's not in that bracket. He's okay.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, he's okay. So only Kobe can get into that squad, yeah.
Like,
So only Kobe can get into that squad. Okay.
Kobe Martinez, Varane, obviously, but like.
Okay,
again,
you're just saying stuff. They can't get into that. Varane can't get into that squad.
You see, Varane's the only thing that stopped today from being a basket.
Varane was.
You talk about defenders, I tip my hat off to Varane, because he's the only reason that this score wasn't something ridiculous. The way he defend. If we're talking pure box defending, like get the ball out the fucking box. But there's not much better than Varane. I take
At
my
the
hat.
highest level, no. At the highest level, Varane is not. As in, I mean, nah.
You lot just. I don't think you lot watch football with your eyes sometimes.
So
That's the
okay,
problem.
so the highest level defenders are
In the Premier League, I was having
yes.
this conversation with Ricky the other
No,
day. To
the
be fair.
highest level defenders are what is it? Who's it? Diaz and Stones, Saliba,
Stop saying Diaz, brother.
Okay, just let me finish the back two. But I'm saying everyone's back two.
Oh, this is just Man City and United.
Man City, no, Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, like the back, the best, the top
Okay,
three.
let me. I can
Is
even break
Varane,
it.
who's Varane better than?
Varane's better than everyone bar
Hmm?
Saliba, Gabriel, Virgil van Dijk. That's it.
What?
Yeah, normal.
Akanji's better than Varane.
See, that's what I mean. This is what look at you. I don't even know why I talk to you sometimes.
Akanji's better than
Bringing up names
listen,
like a Kanji. Come on, man. I'm not even trying to make this
Konate's better than. I mean,
United.
forgot about Konate. Konate's better than Varane.
Konate. I'm not having Konate. Like Konate is
Konate's
cold.
better than Konate's better than Varane. Akanji's better than Varane.
This is what I
Diaz is
mean.
better than Varane.
You're just gonna bring up names. Apparently Ake is better than Varane.
Ake's
Anybody else?
better than Varane.
Guardado better than Varane.
Huh?
I said Guardado better than
Van der
Varane.
Beek's better than Varane. Not Van der Beek.
Van
What's
de
his name?
Ven.
Van der Ven. Sorry, Van der
Van de
Ven's
Ven's
better
better
than
than
Varane.
anybody else. Who else is better than
Who
Varane?
did you say? You mentioned someone.
Guardado.
Nah, I don't know what he is. I don't know what Guardiola is.
Who else did we say? We said Konate. Apparently Konate is better than him
Konate's
as
better
well.
than Varane.
Everyone's better than Varane apparently.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying all the top defenders are not everyone. He's better than some
apparently
of the
so.
people at Newcastle. So he's better than Dummett and some of these at Newcastle. He's better than Konsa.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. It's cool.
So yeah, no, but yeah, for what that's what I'm saying. For what is at United, he's one of your best. Yes. So we'll stop trying to expand that to the top teams in the league.
Yeah,
the top
man.
sides
It's
in the
alright.
league. So,
Maybe it's a different veranda I'm looking at. Maybe it's a different one. I don't know.
because it's just in terms of because you've also told me Luke Shaw's a great defender and stuff like that, and I'm just
He is.
skewed. No, he's not. It's skewed. So anyway, so we go into we thought you'd do everyone thought you'd do us a favor. To be fair, and shamelessly.
Why do you not think that?
No, wait.
What made you?
Well, we wished
what made
upon a
you-
star. We just wished upon a star.
Yeah, no, I hear. Sometimes
And
you
at the
just
end, and at the end of the day, fair enough, innit? But another discussion I want to ask: take aside the results, take aside the positions in which both teams are in the league. Whose situation? Are you still with me?
I'm with you.
Yeah. Whose situation is worse, Eric Ten Hag's or Mauricio Pochettino?
Probably Ten Hag, just because he's not gonna be here next season, and I think with the new
Why do you say that?
with the new ownership coming in, they're gonna want to pick their own manager, and Ten Hag hasn't given them enough reason to stick with him.
What convinces you? So the fact that it's just new ownership and there's nothing to hold on to. Is that why?
If it was new ownership stepping into an Arsenal, into a Liverpool, not Liverpool because Klopp said he's leaving, but even into a Tottenham, like these managers have given them something to say, oh, let's give him another season at least to work with, and let's
not build the cachet, coming third and winning the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, but then you've got this season where you basically erased that cachet. Like anything good that he did in his first season has been erased now by this season.
Let me rephrase the question because you're limiting it to like whether he's going to be in a job or not. I solely mean whose situation, isolate the managers, whose situation is an easier fix in the club in terms of to get the results and get back to where both teams want to be. Whose situation is an easier fix, Manchester United's or Chelsea?
I want to say United just because Chelsea have already done a lot of like not irreversible spending, but they've signed a lot of players to a lot of long-term contracts that they're kind of banking on now to develop and be those players in a couple of years. And obviously the way it started, it's not started in the best way, so it's a lot more difficult. I think United are a bit more primed for a rebuild. You think about the type of players that let go of. Casemiro's obviously got the interest from Saudi. Varane is out of contract. You've got a couple of attackers that possibly will be quite easy to move. Martial at the end of his contract. Anthony gonna have to ask God to find him a new home because I
I
don't
don't
think.
think. Okay, I hear what you're saying. Chelsea's downside is the fact that they've signed all of these lots of long-term deals, and you don't know if they've got the pieces there because these are all prospects. You don't know if these are all going to come good, but it's kind of like if they do come good, Chelsea need a marksman up top, which is an easy fix, and one or two defenders. Man United's one, maybe the lack of direction we've seen so far. We don't know with the new owners. I don't know. Yeah, the rebuild is there to be had, but can we trust United with more money? Can we trust them to do the right signings? I honestly, as much as like this is not for clickbait or anything. I don't know whose is worse. Whose situation is worse.
I
Honestly
think
speaking, I don't know whose
I just think
situation is worse. I feel like what you said about the money in terms of Chelsea. Okay, yeah, that is worse because I don't think they've got a lot of room to work with in the market in terms of FFP. But United, can you trust them even with money to go
I
at a
think you
better
have to. I
situation?
think you're right, as in like the history has shown you can't trust United with money, but the history isn't really there with Ineos because
Okay.
again, this is going to be their first window. They've obviously said they want to operate differently to how we've been operating previously. So,
Big up Nathan for watching on the train. Sorry about the Wi-Fi. So go on, carry on.
oh yeah, now Nathan went to go watch Arsenal's women. I saw that on Twitter. I got to
Fair
watch the
play.
North London derby, but yeah, I think just in terms of the rebuild, like because of the fact that we've got a new structure coming in, we've obviously got that Barada guy from City that's coming in. Then you've got Dan Ashworth, and they're trying to recreate create a new sporting system that we haven't had, a new sporting structure that we haven't had. So it gives you a cause for optimism at least. With
Who?
obviously with Chelsea, the way it's set, they've done their rebuild in terms of structurally, like they've got the Joe Shields and um
Early.
Igali and all, like they've kind of done their thing and they're banking on that to be successful. And obviously hasn't got off to the best start. So I think we just have, like again, it's touch and go because we don't know with United spending money how it's gonna go. It could all come crashing down. Who really knows? But
In terms of okay, so how long would you give this new Ineos regime to do this rebuild at United?
um, yeah,
Like
boy, it's gonna,
how long do you see how long for you? I'm not even gonna say challenging because that word is now it's just not even a real thing, but do they win the league? Because for
I don't
me,
know. It depends on the skill. Like, it depends how much they tear it down, and
oh,
yeah,
so you think
because
it's a actually rip it all down?
we need to rip it all down. Like we realistically need to rip it down
Because
the way.
I thought that's what happened with Tan when Tanag first walked in. It was all ripped down because the bad eggs was gone.
Nah, it wasn't completely ripped down if we're being real. Like again, we think about how much of the old regimes are still here. Like realistically, we need still a bit more of a gutting, and just the players that we sign, that's the thing, we could sign these players and we could find ourselves in a Chelsea situation where you try and go younger and you try and like you want to mix up who you sign. You don't want to just sign young players that Chelsea are saying. You want to sign a couple of established players as well. But you could realistically see like us going down that route and it getting worse before it gets better. Like there's no guarantee it gets better straight away. It's gonna like, yeah, there's no reason to think that is gonna happen straight away. So you have to give them you have to give it a couple of seasons if they're doing the right things and if like you have faith in the project. Obviously, not every United fan is gonna have faith in the project, like depending on what happens in the summer. Like not every United fan is gonna have faith in that project. Then they might like start asking questions straight away. But realistically, like what you want to happen is not gonna happen straight away. That's always been how it's been.
Okay, last but not least on United, and guys, feel free to throw your questions at Thanks this evening. But what would you say in terms of you said it needs a real gutting, a proper one this time, and in that gutting, I'm gonna ask you specifically Rashford and Bruno. Like, go because one's your captain, and I would say one's the vice captain. And Rashford's like a big personality. Don't know if he's actually
Mm.
the vice captain, but them two players, what do you do? What do you want for them if you want them gone? Or do you want them to stay? Like how long? Like talk to us about their future this summer. Teaser's
Um,
already here.
Honestly, like at this point, you don't like everything's on the table at this point. Like depending on who the there's not for me, there's not much
What
like
do you want?
attraction on keeping any of these players. Like apart from Hoyland, um, Martinez, Kobe Mano, that again, I've said
Wow.
those are the three. that I've said you
Don't
keep
touch
the
them.
rest are on the table. Like
And
depend
Diallo, sorry.
Dallo's he's improved
No,
and he's nice.
Diallo. I'm at Diallo, sorry.
Amad Diallo, yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's.
he hasn't had a chance. He's not going to be like an untouchable because he hasn't had a chance to show
I'm
anything
saying
for
in
you.
your heart, those are the 4 players you want to stay.
Oh yeah, I'd want them to stay, but again, depending on what the rebuild is, how we do the rebuild, everybody should be on the table. Like if we bring in a manager and he says, "I've got real faith in," and again, this is for me, this isn't speaking on Rashford's quality or Bruno can go. Like I don't like I've been ready for Bruno to go. But if we're talking Rashford, who's probably the more contentious one. Who's probably the one that some people think should stay, some people
I
should
think a lot of people want Bruno to stay. He's your captain. A lot of United
for me,
fans really don't think Bruno's bad. They think he's so
Bruno's
good.
Bruno's a bit more straightforward than a Rashford.
Yeah,
But
for you,
again,
and I feel like that's predominantly like a lot of London Man United fans, a lot of United like matchday fans and top Reds, they rate Bruno like captain fantastic. They still have an attachment to when he first came in during that COVID season. They still, when you say Bruno's bad, they still bring the argument of his goals and assists and how well he's a good striker of the ball. They still bring that to the argument. So I don't think Bruno's as straightforward to the masses as you think.
well, okay, maybe not to the masses, but for me, like getting a 10, a cam that can do a lot more than what Bruno offered. Like Bruno thrives in certain situations. Like today, he wasn't good because again we had to. And the whole team wasn't good. Really, realistically, it's because of the way we set up.
How much
But
would you get for Bruno? Would you take
you get a
30?
lot. You get a lot. 30. You get a lot of money for Bruno. Let's be serious.
How much would you take for Bruno? So if they say what's an offer that you'd rubbish away? 40 mil.
Yeah, because we need to like our best players. We need to be getting money for them.
Do you
So you
think?
could.
I think you take 40 mil for Bruno.
Nah. You take a loss on Bruno.
How much do you think you can
Especially
get for him? Because
the
I don't
biggest
think he's going Saudi. I don't think Bruno would go Saudi, and the biggest market
well,
is Saudi.
that's the biggest market for him. That's the biggest market for him.
I don't think
So
someone like Bruno goes to Saudi. I just don't think so.
well,
I feel like he's
maybe he
good, but he
doesn't.
can
Maybe
play
he doesn't.
Champions.
I can't see who really buys him in Europe.
I think
So if he
Rashford is
does,
the most. Rashford is you could get 60.
you could get way more than 60 for Rashford.
Rashford,
Bro, PSG are in his dick, you know. They're
Pause.
on him. They're on him. You're talking you get 40, you will sell him to PSG for 40. Be serious, man.
Obi Maktub says
Like
40 is a steal. He's
you lot cannot
29 and crap.
that's the thing. This is why I want you lot to actually like really, really, really just put your thinking caps on and just like really process things. Like whether you rate a player or not, in this market where everything has been inflated and you're
No, I
ready to
understand that, but you need to take your mind out of what people are valued for and who can pay that money for this player. I don't
so you're saying
outside Saudi. I don't. Okay,
so
so
you're saying outside you're
Italy,
saying
Italy.
if PSG came for Rashford and they put 40 million on the table,
No, I
you
didn't say
think
40
yeah,
for Rashford. I didn't say 40 for Rashford. I
okay,
said 60. I said 60 for Rashford,
60 for Rashford.
and I said 40 for Bruno if he goes Italy or something.
40 for Bruno. I don't see who from Italy can afford Bruno. I don't see it
I'm
like
saying, but you're working at scraps here because outside Saudi and PSG, there's no market for these players. So I'll be
well,
interested to see.
it'll be interesting. I think it'll be interesting. But hey, Obi, I agree, but that's not how as Shemi has said, that's not how the world sees him, and that's not how the market works right now. I'll
I'll
take
take
100 for
100
both.
for both. We could get more for both, but I ain't got time for negotiations. But he's paying 60 plus for
That's why
Rashford.
we signed Barad, bro. Tez, you ain't got to do negotiations. Barada can do them things, fam. We need some, bro.
For you, my brother.
Legit. We
For
need
you, my
some.
brother.
We need
You need it.
like United selling players has been woeful for like a long time. Like a long time. Ever since Ronaldo was our last big one, we obviously sold, I think, Dan James for 30 million,
Dan
Garner for
James is a good
15,
one.
Alanga for
Yeah, Dan
15.
James
But
is a
like,
good one.
we need to be like, I don't mind us selling these players, but we need to get flipping money for them. Otherwise, you don't want to take 40 million for Bruno.
How much
40
did you
million
flog
for
off Lukaku for? That was a good one, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was decent to be fair.
Yeah. So,
We,
but
we, no, we broke it. I lied. We broke even. We broke even.
that's still good. To flip on Lukaku, like that's still good because it was you went big on that and you didn't make a loss. On United though, Banks, what's for the rest of the season? I know the answer to this already. What do you hope for? The FA Cup? Makes
Man,
it because you got Liverpool next.
just get through the games, man. Just you see,
And
season's over if we really
on
deep. Like
Obi's
season's
point,
over.
if you sell Bruno, Bruno even said he wants to go back to Portugal to the end of his career. If you lot send him back to Portugal, you're making a loss because they're making
Can't
dimes
send
on
him.
the dollar
That's
over
what I'm
there.
saying. You can't send.
That's
You
10
can't send
million
him to
euros.
Portugal.
They'll bid for him. 10 million euros. So
You
don't
can't.
even bother.
You
Don't even bother.
can't send him back to Portugal. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you're not gonna send him back to Portugal because they ain't got the bread for it. What do I want from this season? There's nothing I want from this season. I don't ask for anything from these players because they'll just not deliver it for you. So there's no point in having many requests from this season. Just
Let's
that
round it
game
off
and
and
just
start again. We go again.
yeah,
Oh, we gotta love
just
football.
do
We
it up.
gotta love it. Let's
Before
pivot.
before
Go on.
we pivot, I guess I don't want to. This is like I don't want to make it that sort of conversation, but obviously top performance from Phil Foden.
How do you wait? Hold on. How do you know? I said I'm gonna host. So how do you know that's not what I was gonna say?
You said you wanted to pivot. I thought you was
Exactly.
pivoting away from the match.
No, don't see what I'm saying. When you're just jumpy,
Hey,
bro.
host,
Just,
host, host, host,
you know what I
host. Sorry,
mean?
I
Like,
got
relax. I said let's pivot onto the blue side of
sorry, I
Manchester.
got
That's what I was gonna say.
sorry.
And I was gonna talk
Quits,
about world class Phil Foden. Now, with Phil Foden, it was a fantastic performance from him, yeah. But do you feel like Phil Foden has to do a lot less to get the plaudits that others won't get until they do a lot more?
No, I think
Okay.
that's a tired argument at this point.
Okay.
I think he's just been good. Right, he's been really good.
When was Phil Foden good? From August.
Yeah,
From August. So from
he's
August
been
of the
good.
last 7 months. Oh, sorry, but the last 5 months he's been good. 6 months.
I think he's been City's best player this season.
Okay.
You don't agree?
No,
He's been their best player.
I think Rodri and the fact that when he left, honestly I feel like Rodri and the fact that when
Obviously,
he
yeah,
left.
his impact when he got that
Because
suspension
at
was
the
big.
start of the season, all we was hearing is Doku. Then we got halfway through, all we was hearing was Rodri. Then from the turn of Christmas, from January till now, all we've been hearing is Foden. So I feel like it's been going around in like the star player has been going around the team in terms of, and at one point we was John Stones when he comes back when he comes. So I feel like because we're in this moment now, Foden's been excellent. He's been excellent, but it
I think
hasn't
he's
been
been
enough.
their best player. I don't feel like his levels dropped really this season.
Okay.
I feel like he's been their best player. He's been their most consistent player. Again, as you said, like Rodri had that spell out where they didn't do well when he was suspended.
Uh-huh.
Doku obviously started the season very hot, but I feel like Foden's been there for the whole season, just at this level. And I think, yeah, right now at this level, it's not world class for me. It's not a world class level yet, but he's playing right there, and he's like
Okay.
right on the cusp of it. Like
Okay.
it's a level still.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no way
Fair.
on earth Foden is world class and Saka isn't. Foden is a purple patch player. The consistency levels of the young ball Saka's levels above, in my opinion. I don't
Fair
think
enough.
either of them are world class right now, to be fair, but they're
Okay.
both clearly gonna get there. Like I think that's the main thing that people don't like. You just need just let them get there. Like they're both gonna get there. They're both cold. They're both gonna
Yeah, I
get
feel
there.
like that's a word. I feel like this is a very good comment. It's very balanced. No one's because I'm not pushing, even though I believe Saka is world class. I just won't believe you can say one is like that Foden is and Saka isn't because I believe Saka's better than Foden. That's just my premise.
I
Now,
hear
the
it.
discussion of what makes someone world class, obviously with different players, the goalpost moves. So you say, oh, Saka's not world class because he's won nothing. And I'll say, is Harry Kane world class? But then your rebuttal would be like, yeah, but he's top goal scorer. Da, da, da. I said, cool. Is Jude Bellingham world class? People will say no, but he's gonna win something. Da, da, da. But you can't do that. Do you get what I mean? It moves. But you know why I bring up these arguments, even though some players I will ask, and we renownedly know they are world class, is because the barometer changes depending on the player. That's the bit that I don't like, where the lines blur. Do you get where I'm coming from?
I get what you mean. I get what you're saying in terms of the goalpost move, definitely. But that's why, for me, you just watch a player and you see how they're playing. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
You just watch it and then you make that judgment. And for
Mhm.
me, like this is my opinion for this season. Like I feel like last season Saka was again playing right at that level, just below world class. Like he was right there. This season he's been a bit more up and down, up and down. He had a couple stretches
So
where
what
he
makes
was.
you play? What would he? What else would he have done to play above that world class level? Just win the trophy.
What do you mean last season?
Yeah, because you said he was just beneath it.
I'd just say for me, this is how I see it. Yeah, this is how I've rationalized it. Like in the barometer of wingers, there's Mbappe at the very top. Agreed. And you see how Mbappe will take control of games, leave his mark on the game. I don't like the goals and assists are one thing, but it's the way he can leave his mark on the game. Then you've got the tier below that of Saka and Vinny Jr. I think we both agree that Saka isn't on the level of Salah or Vinny Jr. Or am I like are we disagreeing on that?
No, we can definitely agree.
We can agree. And then you look at their performances, like Salah's obviously like he's gonna leave his mark on the game in a crucial way more often than not. Vinny Jr., that same thing where he's like the lightning bolt for his team, and he's the one that draws all the attention, and he's the one that's going to make it happen.
Mhm.
Saka is similar to that, where he can do that for his team.
Saka leaves his mark on his game, but the style of goal doesn't look individualistic. I think that's
Mm,
it. I think that's more so it. In terms of the style of Saka's goal rarely seems individual. Like the ball gets to him, he drops the shoulder,
mm.
passes off, and it ends up like will bundle it or tap it into the back of the post. Whereas a through ball goes to Salah, he carries it the length of the pitch and then puts it bottom bins. Or Vinny rips someone and then scores or ends up on the. So it seems like they do a lot more to get the goal. And I agree, they're a different level to Saka, but I feel like they're not mutually exclusive. Like they can both be world class. It's just
No,
style.
but for
But
me,
what I
for
do
me,
agree is that it has to amount to something.
mm.
Do you get what I mean?
Nathan said the purple patch tricking man again. Twitter cooking Doku still. Yeah, nah, I can't lie. Doku's not moving the needle right now,
And
man.
then
He's
also
not.
I was gonna say, is Heung-min Son world class?
Ooh, I think he is still
Why?
world class finisher still.
Why? No. This
World
is what I'm
class finisher.
saying about the
No,
barometer of world class continues to move. In terms of being world class, the standard and the caliber is consistently performing at a high level is one of them. And you have to balance, you have to
yeah.
move these gauges. Consistency performing at a high level, winning things, putting your team on your back and deciding games. I feel like and making those around you better or making the game
I
easier
feel
for
like
others.
Son
I'm making the
does
game
two
wait,
or
I'm
three of
making the
those.
game no wait, I'm making the game no he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Because Son doesn't perform consistently at a high level, and he never has in his career. Never.
Never,
Name a season. Name a
never.
season.
Granted.
Wait, name a season where Son has performed at a consistently high level. Massive goal scoring season. I'll tell you. I'll show you 9 games he didn't score or assist. He has a bro. Purple patches. Yeah, I know
He
a
was top
season could
scorer
be
for
made
one
up.
season.
That's what I'm saying. Even in that season, he went like 9 or 10 games. Like there was a mad perp. That's what I'm saying. It's very streaky. So already he doesn't always perform at a consistently high level. One. On the second thing, he doesn't win anything. Two. So you're already down on 2 of those gauges. Do you get what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. If you're saying Son is world class, but the reason why, and it's all PR, the reason why some people were a lot more willing to give you that WC mark is because of the PR. We love Son. Son could hack someone in the knee and everyone be like, oh, he didn't mean it. So I don't know, innit? That's why I had to ask you that question on camera.
Son is the original purple patch merchant. It's hard to find the balance. Son's not world class. Maybe I got it wrong. Maybe I'm judging him
Honestly
too
speaking,
highly.
and here's the
But
thing, because you gave an example of how Mbappe does and carries, and you see how he does it. It's the same style of goal when Son's on form. That's why it's easy for you to say that he's world class. But it doesn't happen often. Son is like one of the highest goal scorers this season, right? Name a Son goal.
yeah,
You can't even remember. Like this season,
sure.
why is his name not ringing? Like you can't. Like where did Son get 13 goals from this season? And how
He
many
scored
games
the
has he?
bro. It's not even like he's on. Well, maybe he is on penalties, but
No,
For
no, no.
me,
And he
like
scored them.
one
I'm
of
not taking them away from him. I'm genuinely just
the,
saying, if someone's world class and they dominate games at the highest level and they put the team on their back, you have these things, you have these in your head. You have these moments of when they clutched it. You have it in your head. But this season, we don't remember it. But all the thing, history always.
maybe I see Son as a world class finisher in it. Like when I think of world class finishers in the game right now, Son's one of them. When you're talking about the rest of the rest of his game, I 100% agree. Like it's never really been up there. But
Oh, you can't
when we're
isolate one
talking bad boy,
attribute and call someone world class. That's crazy.
and again, maybe that's why I jumped the gun. But when I think about bad boy finishers, Son's one of them. So maybe I did jump the gun in terms of the whole world class thing. But yeah, whenever I think of like a bad boy finisher, I think of somebody that if you put him in goal scoring positions, he's gonna make the most of it more time. It's Son. So you're probably right in the sense that he's probably like the whole package isn't world class. But
Just shoot some of these
yeah,
comments quickly. Ricky Burley, Son is not world class. Nat, Son is a poor man's Walker. That's not nice. It's hard to find the balance now. Obi said Son is the original purple patch merchant. T said I couldn't tell you a Son goal. His career highlight is a Hattie against Danny Ward. No, but just when I'm just for everyone listening now in the chat, when you want to gauge and you're having these discussions in the barbershop, at work, in the shop, or wherever, and you're having a world class comment, when people are trying to argue that certain people are and certain people aren't, use other people to gauge their barometer of what they think as world class. Get where I'm coming from, Banks?
mm,
Use other people. So if they say, "Oh, there's no trophy," you could ask them about Harry Kane, who we all know is world class. But that isn't knocking the argument. Or if they've won nothing, bring up Jude Bellingham, but do it now because he's gonna win something soon. But bring up Jude Bellingham, or bring up Son, or bring up certain people we know people have said are world class, but they still fall short of what you're criticizing others for not having done. So yeah, Banks. Sorry to go off on a tangent there, guys. What do you think about this title race so far? Looking from the outside, what do you think? How do you think
this is
it's
the
gonna
first
end?
this is the first 3-man title race that we've had in a while, isn't it?
Uh, in a decade, yeah. I was listening to the Totally Football show on the Athletic the other day, and they were saying we haven't had this before. I think that's a lie. We have had this before. The Gerrard slip year was the last 3-man race, I would say. Chelsea,
What about
obviously, Chelsea were there to make things interesting, and they could have won, but we all knew it was between City and Liverpool. But it was a 3-man race.
hmm. Yeah,
People
nah, this is
tried to
the
reference the Leicester one. It wasn't a 3-man race.
that wasn't a 3-man race. I thought that was a 3-man race.
What, Leicester, Tottenham, Arsenal? It wasn't a 3-man race.
No, no,
No,
no,
no.
no.
Go
Oh
on.
no, no, no. Yeah, no, sorry. I'm
Which one? Which one you thinking? What year?
no, I was thinking of the year afterwards, but there was nobody involved. It was just Tottenham, Chelsea, and
17?
Chelsea won it. Yeah,
17 was Chelsea.
yeah, Chelsea.
Tottenham were always 5 points behind Chelsea when Conte's here, and they had that battle of the bridge. Tottenham would never win in that league. They were 5 points behind. Same thing with the Leicester year. Arsenal and Leicester had Arsenal. Yeah, this was one of the best because, to be
Best
fair,
title race since Aguero and United are nowhere to be seen. Shit, guys.
that's not nice. Let's look at guys. Put your definitions of world class. That's quite interesting. T said, for me, world class is defined by consistency at the top level, special moments, winning a trophy, and they're in the combo for their best position. That last point there, that's okay. I like that, but sometimes the competition at the top is a bit tough because we can have 5 world class players in one position. What do you think about that, Banks?
I like it. I like it. The consistency at the top level, special moments, winning trophies, and the convo for the best in their
Best in their
position.
position, yeah.
The only thing I don't like about that is that, and again, I spoke about this before, is the convo for the best in their position.
Hmm.
It's only because when I think about like the top level, like maybe this is just me gassing it, but I feel like on the level of Salah and Vinny Jr.
Hmm.
in previous generations, there would have been 4 or 5 or
Yep,
6
yep,
players
yep, yep.
on that level. But right now, when we really look at it, it's not that many. Like
Yeah, we're a
it's
bit
not that many
depleted.
on that level. So you're dropping down. For me, you're dropping down levels to include people in that world class category, which in my mind doesn't make sense because you shouldn't move the barometer of world class.
Yes,
Based
just
on,
because we haven't got anybody to fill up the seats of world
yeah,
class. I hear you.
exactly.
Nat said, because that's relative. Don't make it relative. Nat said, world class, you have to be effective and a clutch player in the big competitions, i.e., mirror yourself closer in the World Cup. Is
That's
Miroslav
interesting.
Klose
Bro, I was literally because
world class? Because I
Miroslav
agree
is
with your
very
definition, but the example will let you down there because you know what's interesting. You know what's
what?
interesting now about what you said about relatively best in your position. I think T's brought it up in the previous comment. Is now, for example, Miroslav Klose hits that definition perfectly about being clutch in big competitions. But the people he was up against at the time, you couldn't say Miroslav Klose was world class because in that
Like
time
he wasn't on the Ronaldo level.
exactly. There was a Ronaldo, there was a Thierry Henry, there was there were people were around at the time when Miroslav Klose was around, and you couldn't put him in them combos, even though he hits that definition. So I agree with the definition. The examples I know. Who's the next one we got?
World class is eye test for me. I can't lie. I'm an aesthetics merchant. So Obi, for that one, yeah. How long does the player have to be like? Because last season I would have said Kvaratskhelia was like playing at a world class level,
Mm,
but he's obviously
mm,
dropped down a cliff now, or he's dropped
significantly.
down a level. So it's like, how long do they have to be? Because yeah, I get what you mean. Because when I watched Kvaratskhelia last season, he was
Mm,
doing bad man things that other people just weren't doing, but now he hasn't shown the consistency. I even throw it back to 2013. On my life, Michi was world class that season. I don't
mm,
like. I'll fight everyone to the hills.
mm.
Michi was world class that one season, but he was never world class ever again. But you people wouldn't call Michi world class. You would just say he had a great season. So how long do you let? Like how long do you let
I
your
think it's
eyes
four
tell?
seasons. I personally
Four
think it's
seasons.
four. I think it's 3 or 4 seasons. You know why? I'm going to use a perfect example now. I think Ronaldo, as a whole, everybody has now admitted Van Dijk is one of the best centre backs they've ever seen in the Premier League, and
Mm.
he's world class. Remember when Van Dijk first went to Liverpool, just first 12 to 18 months, and everybody's already started saying what we're saying now. The people that went early said he's world class, is this, is that. Everyone said chill, he's been here one season, he's only been playing at the top. But why all of a sudden has everybody, even the most staunch anti Van Dijk fan, has now considered like, yeah, he's peak? What's changed?
Just time.
It's time. That's it. Because it's not what he's won. No one ever said he's. It's time. And I think that's the biggest one to answer Obi's question. Because aesthetics merchant, okay, aesthetics get level because Adel Tarat had good aesthetics, but we wasn't saying he's world class. But I hear what he's trying to say, and let's quickly go through some of these comments because it's getting interesting. Some of these definitions. 100%. This is why world class gets too easy labeled. I think Tees was talking about your comment there, Banks, about the relative list being ranked in your position. Would you
Mm.
consider Drogba world class pony goal scoring record, but it was a big game player? Banks, take this one.
I have to go. Yeah, I have to go.
I
Yeah.
think Drogba was. I agree.
World class player, yeah. You're
I
not
agree.
like again, sometimes it's aura as well, man. Just like aura is gonna carry into them conversations as well. Because
Yeah.
as you said, big game, like if you know big game, he's gonna come and bad somebody up. It's hard, like you go up against the best defenders. Yeah, maybe when it was flipping Charlton Athletic, you didn't see him score. But if it's Wembley against
The
Rio
lights are
Ferdinand
that.
and
Yeah,
Emmanuel,
it's just midweek. Lights are off. Champions
like
League. Yeah, I
he's
give it
gonna
to him.
he's gonna bad up somebody. You if you're badding up the world's best defenders, it's hard to tell them. It's hard to tell that person, yeah, you're not world class because throw a world class defender in front of me and I'm badding him up. It's
Um. Okay. Junior EEV. World class is a mix of eye test, 1, stats, 2, clutchness, 3, and consistency, 4. So Banks will go again. Eye test, stats, clutchness, consistency. If a player lacks one in these areas, it can be accommodated, i.e., Haaland fails eye test, but his stats are crazy. I
oof.
agree with this. I think this here is the most clear cut, like Oxford Dictionary of world class. What we can change for me personally is the eye test one in terms of we could include trophies in there. I don't know if trophies overlaps in all of them, but like I think trophies need to be accommodated into one of those barometers. But
It's
eye test,
difficult
yes.
because a player like Totti, who he won a Serie A and
Mm,
World Cup.
mm.
They won two big trophies,
So he
relatively big
won two. I think he won the Serie A. Oh yeah, and the World Cup. That was it.
World
They
Cup.
didn't win
So
they didn't win their Coppa Italia. I don't think Roma ever
yeah.
won that
So it's
though.
like what if he won if he didn't win the Serie A, if he didn't win, like would we drop his label as, especially considering he didn't play for the best club in Italy. Like would we have dropped his world class label? That's why I feel like trophies It's difficult because more often I feel like that's a unique case as well. Because more often than not, the best players play for the best clubs and they're in
Okay.
the best positions to win
I
trophies.
I think the problem with this is a fantastic definition, Junior. But the problem I have with this is like when your legacy moves on and you retire, very few people bring eye test to arguments in terms of legacy. So
More
Drogba's the
people
perfect
need to,
example.
man.
Huh?
I said more people need to if we're
Yeah,
gonna
but
have
Drogba's the
like
perfect example. So we're very much stats based in this generation, and everybody says Drogba really world class. Like he didn't score more than 15 goals once or whatever the stat is in Prem, but we witnessed what we witnessed in terms of eye test.
Hmm,
Should we get through some more of these comments?
yeah. Salah didn't get world class label until season 3/4. You
True.
think so? I
Yeah,
feel
no, he
like
didn't. He
I,
didn't. He didn't. He didn't.
no.
He didn't.
I feel like people. You're right.
He
Just in the
didn't.
sense people hate, like
He
not hating,
didn't.
but like people.
Firstly, even Harry Kane. All of you don't. In the first season, people think it's a fluke, and then in the second season, people think you don't score against big teams. Huh?
You said Nathan's an Arsenal supporter and he's talking about drug like you have to accept when Drogba stepped up against Arsenal, like there was just a feeling that he was gonna bad somebody up. You had to that's an
Well, this is a
aura,
good
bro.
point. This is a good point.
He was badding up Juru and Senderos, not exactly elite centre backs, are they? Hey man, you're right in that sense, but he was also badding up the likes of like Van Boyten and Lucia and all them other centre backs in the Champions League as well.
Okay.
Like he did it.
Okay. You're world class. Just let us tweet us, or if you're not here and you see this letter, tweet us your definition of world class.
I'm
Com-
comfy calling man who haven't won trophy world class. Though trophies defo boost the player's argument. Hear it completely.
Fair
Yeah.
play.
I
Fair
think
play.
I think if there's anything we've learned from this conversation is that there's no one definition of world class. And everyone's gonna continue to have their own, like as you
Mhm.
said, when you have them arguments in the barber shop, like everyone's gonna come with their own definition and everyone's gonna have their own thoughts. So you
Yes.
really can't get too hung up on the idea of world class, like
Yeah.
because it's gonna mean something different to
Different
different
people.
people.
And there's
Just
a lot of subjectivity in it in terms of the player, if you like them, their
yeah,
PR, who they play for.
you just
But
gotta you just gotta enjoy the player. If you like the player, enjoy the player, man.
just
That's
enjoy
it.
it, man. Just enjoy
Just
it.
enjoy the game, man. Just enjoy the game.
Let's finish off quickly. So Liverpool last minute goal. I'm not sure you watched it. You're probably at recess. But
Nah,
what do you
don't do
think?
like that.
What do you think this title race? Like you said, we talked about it a little bit earlier before we got into the world class debate. 3-horse race is coming. Like Arsenal playing Sheffield soon, but 3-horse race. What do you think? Like, how do you think it's gonna end? Thanks.
Um, City winning it.
Mm.
If I'm being real,
So you think
Liverpool.
they go to Anfield and they win next week?
No, I think they go to Anfield and not lose.
Okay, and then it goes. So we're kicking the can further down the road
Yeah,
because if
and
they
then
go to Anfield and not lose, you do
they're
know Liverpool are 4 points. Like Liverpool are still 2 points clear, or however many points it is. Like
no, they're 1 point clear.
they're 1 point clear. Okay, but you don't trust Liverpool to go the long run.
I trust City more to go the long run.
Okay,
I trust
okay.
City more to go the long run. I think Liverpool is like I feel like we said it in December and everyone's just been saying it recently, just an unsustainable thing, but they're clearly gonna unsustainable it until the end of the season. Like I've come to terms with that. Like they're gonna keep doing this nonsense until the end of the season.
Mm.
Like whether we think is what's gonna happen. So now it's about who's gonna outlast who's gonna come up big in the biggest
So you
moment.
don't think so? Who's the most combustible of the three?
City just got too like I even say that again.
Sorry, I said who's the most combustible of the three?
What like who's prone to blowing this up? Like
Yes,
blowing
yeah,
up?
yeah.
It's an interesting one because it's technically Arsenal because as much as you lot were in the title race last season, you obviously had the blow up at the end of last season, and this is really your this is your second go around.
Yeah,
Like Liverpool and City have been in this like years and years now. It's been
yeah.
them two doing it years and years. So if we're talking about who's got the most experience of being at the top at the tail end of the season, it's them two.
Okay.
Obviously, this Arsenal team looks a lot better than last season in terms of their like stability, in terms of their like um just their strength and their ability to, especially defensively, like they look a lot better than last season. But again, a lot of what happened at the end of last season was a mental thing, in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
we got crumbled mentally. So you obviously have the experience of last season, but you also have to deep like that shit could happen again because you've not won it, and that experience of winning changes you or
Okay.
changes a team.
Okay. I'm really, really excited for this. Obviously, it's going to cause a lot of heartache and probably a lot of joy, but we haven't had this before. And I feel like this, with three teams going out where three teams can equally win mathematically, and three teams, like I think Gary Neville said it earlier, three teams all have a trump card in the strength. And that City, of the three teams, City don't look the best. I can't even lie to you.
No, they 100% don't. They
But then,
100%
but then
don't.
they have the cachet of like history, recency history, the best manager, this and that, best players, da 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 da. So that's their thing. Liverpool's literally have the machine of Klopp behind him in the sense of like Klopp's
They've got
farewell
the power.
tour,
They've got the power of friendship
like
behind them.
momentum, yeah, momentum,
Power of
Anfield. They have
friendship.
everything like all the thing. And Arsenal, I can't even lie, of the three teams, look the best. Like in the
Yeah,
eye test, they just look the best. But
yeah.
what Arsenal's failing is the fact that one, last season could come back to haunt them. Liverpool's failing is that it looks like when it got like, how long are we going to do this kids thing? Even though it's asterisk kids, but how long are we going to do this thing? And if every last minute goals, they ain't really gonna, they can't keep doing this. And City, on the other hand, is yes, we just don't know. Like we know, but we don't know. Like, are they going to do four in a row? No one's done it before. Do you get what I mean? So
Mm.
there's a lot of jeopardy in all three storylines. So I feel like everyone should really just enjoy it, honestly, because I don't think we're going to get this again.
Wait 1 minute. I'm gonna remove. I don't know if it's just me,
hmm What's going on?
but I feel like it was frozen.
What, your screen?
Let me see. Yeah, now you're frozen still. I see on the YouTube.
Oh yeah, okay, maybe so. But I can hear you clearly. I'll have
Yeah,
to
now
shut
you.
down.
But yeah, I think with City, I think Arsenal have. Oh, right. I think Arsenal have. What do you call it? I think Arsenal have played the best. Arsenal are currently playing the best, both defensively and Arsenal have been scoring goals for fun recently. But City, the machine that they have in Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne had an off day today, by the way. I don't even think it was really that good. He found himself in a lot of space a lot of times, but he didn't punish United. It was on Foden and eventually Haaland to punish United. But that machine of literally, you saw the connection against Luton midweek in the FA Cup. 3 assists for, was it 4? It might have even been 4 assists for De Bruyne, 5 goals for Haaland. It's like that. If you've got that combo going down the stretch, it's really, really hard to go against like City and go against the idea that City, when they need it most, is not gonna come up trump. But Liverpool facing Man City at Anfield next week, that's gonna be massive. That's gonna be massive because Liverpool have the chance to open up that 4-point gap. Have we ever had 3-horse race to the end of the season? Don't think it happens. Someone's dropping off. Yeah, I know. The fact that it's March now, but yeah, we're just stepping into March. It's still kind of early, so it's not really like end of season times yet. And you usually see someone dropping off. It's going to be interesting to see who though. But yeah, it's been a while since we've had, even this time last season, there was nobody else really in that third spot to put pressure on the top two in terms of a title race. So I feel like it'll be a 3-horse race until April at least, and then two are going down to the wire because yeah, there's too many games to play against each other for people not to drop points. There's going to be points dropped regardless until the end of the season. Plot twist: City to drop off. I just don't see how. I hear it because they're not playing the best. And out of the 3, they're playing, yeah, they're probably just about scraping. Some games they're just about scraping over the line. But at this point, you'd want that. Like, they've had a period of time this season where they've played well, won games. They've had a period of time now where they haven't played one game. They haven't played well, but they're still winning games. It's very similar to Liverpool as well. Like, right now, they're going through a lot of injuries right now. They should be losing more games than they're winning right now. Realistically, they should be losing a lot more games. But just like that Nottingham Forest game, which, by the way, poor Tierney, you're a disgrace. You're a disgrace. How do you let the drop ball go back to Liverpool uncontested? Sometimes It all goes back to that Tottenham game. We all was laughing, we was all joking, but we all knew Liverpool were gonna get every single decision after that. Like after you got done dirty that one time, we knew you was gonna get every single decision after that. It's nasty business, but we know what the game is. Because why the hell did they give the ball back to Liverpool? Why? Why? Liverpool did not need that much help scoring the goal. How big do you guys think the margin for error will be in the running? Recent title races, City and Liverpool have been perfect in the running.
Sorry
Feels
about that.
different this year for some reason. No problem, bro. How big? So I'll let you answer this one. How much margin for error do you think there's going to be in this title running?
That's a great question. That's a great question. Margin for error. Mathematically, no one can drop more than 4 points anymore. I feel like 4 points is a loss and a draw. And in the span of what 11 games, 12 for Arsenal, 11 games for everybody else, that is prolific. So more or less, we're saying that a team should go win 10 or win. You have to win 9 at least. You're 9 out of your 11 or 12 more games. You have to win 10. And bear in mind, we're playing each other. It's not possible for two teams to win. That's the jeopardy in it. And two teams that are going to be instrumental, Man United and Tottenham, I must say. But Man United you just played us now. You just played City now. You still have to play Liverpool. You still have to play Arsenal. Tottenham play all three.
Trafford, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then you have to Arsenal have to play all three. Tottenham have to play all three as well. So there's a lot. I don't know. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think if you want to be in that mix at the end of the season, you've got out of your 11 to 12 games, depending on Arsenal, Liverpool, City, you've literally got a absolute maximum of 2 games you can drop points in. Otherwise, it's sticky.
But here's the thing: there's a lot of twists. You know, the last 10. Some stats need to come out, and they will come out soon. The last 10 games, traditionally, outside City, teams drop a lot of points. You know, like the Liverpool season with the Palace, like their last 4 out of the last 5 games, they won like 2. Like every season, there's a lot more jeopardy than we think, because the games, all that paper stuff goes out the window because teams are fighting for their lives. What's saving us is there's only one spot now for relegation, because obviously Luton and Sheffield, their fate is kind of sealed. CJ said, I don't know. No, I said Sheffield and Burnley. Sorry, not Luton. Sheffield and Burnley. I apologize. CJ mentioned a comment. I don't know if you mentioned this when I left, but he said if we win next week, we're winning the league. In that, we being Liverpool. So if Liverpool beat City, he thinks they've won. I agree. Honestly, I agree.
It'll be what? 4 points. It'll be 4 points between Liverpool and City if they win their game. I think 5 points between Liverpool and Arsenal.
No, it doesn't concern us. We could still be 2 points behind them. We could still be 2 points behind Liverpool.
If you win your game, yeah, you're right. If you win your game. Yeah, I spoke about it earlier in terms of the Liverpool City game. That was the crucial one because, yeah, if Liverpool beat City, it'll be very, very hard for City to turn around a 5-point gap. I think 18, 19 and 21, 22, I think Liverpool and City went perfect. I think those are the two most neck
anomalies. Those are the two anomalies, but they both went crazy.
But the other 3, or the other, like, so let's say the 2020, 2021, and then 2023.
Sure.
There wasn't really that much of a title race towards the end. So like there's only been those 2 when it's actually gone down to the wire, and it's actually been a title race. Like they've had to stay like against City, you have to stay perfect. If you've already given a City a 5 or 6 point like lead, they don't have to be perfect going down the stretch because they know you're not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
But when it's Liverpool and City, and they've been battling it to the very end, they've both understood, there's like literally 0 margin for error between our teams. We need to win all of our games.
That's where you want to be. Paul drew with Spuds, and then CJ acted clash back. City drew with West Ham as well, so it cancels them out. True. Yes. Let's just everyone strap in. Put your seatbelts on. Yeah. Okay. needs to go to the last day. I don't know I'll do this last comment before we sign off. Been on it for an hour now. Needs to go to the last day. Someone needs to hold that 11-12 heartbreak. And to be
I
fair,
know
even at
something.
11-12 though, obviously you lot went to win the next year in 13, but you lot bottled 12.
Yeah, massively bold.
Like I
Massively
think you
bold.
went Everton, you drew, or you
4-4.
lost. You drew. Yeah, you played a 4-4. Then Sunderland, I think you won the Sunderland game. But the last 3 or 4 games,
You lost to
you
Wigan.
lost to Wigan. The last 3 or 4 games, yeah, you lot
Maloney.
choked. You lot choked.
Yeah, we
You
bought
lot
that. We bought that.
choked.
I think
You
it was up
bottled
8 points. We was
You
up
were
8
up by
points.
like 6 points in
Yeah,
the last
we
4
bottled it.
games. And then, but the thing is, they beat you. They beat you first.
Yeah, 1-0. 1-0.
They beat you, and then it was like
Vincent
3 more
Kompany
games
header.
left, and you had like a 5 points hit and you choked. But that's what I'm saying. The last 10. See,
I think it was Stephen Pima as well that got that equalizer for the 4-4.
Yeah, and that was it. So I think Ferguson would have retired that year anyway. He said, "Okay, one more. Let me run it back." But yeah, no, guys, let us know. We're gonna apologize for our tardiness, but now the season's rolling ahead. We're gonna have to lock in now with more streams, and we're gonna start the European review show once we get to the quarters now, where there's more jeopardy involved, because that last round they drew it like it was so orchestrated that no match involved any bit of jeopardy. Obviously, the talking points now is Lazio. If Lazio actually beat Bayern, and if Porto and Arsenal now, Arsenal being 1-0 down, but when we go into the next round, unless there's an upset, there'll be no European review show until the quarterfinals. So yeah, cool.
Right, cool. I got one more thing we need to talk about though.
Quickly.
I need everyone in the comments that's still here right now to put your congratulations, put your hands together for my boy Shemi, who was nominated this week as one of the Sports Journalism Awards Ones to Watch 2024. Can we get a round of applause, people?
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Appreciate it, Max. We're not doing that, man.
We are 100% doing that. I want everyone to put something in the comments. Congratulations, Shemi. That's massive.
Thanks,
that's
man.
big. Shout out to you, man.
Thanks, appreciate it, man.
Can we get like a little nomination speech? How does it feel, bro?
Feels okay. It feels okay. If I grab the award, they know damn well not to let me do a speech.
They can't let you.
They know damn well not to let me do a speech. Oh my gosh, no, but yeah, no, I'm excited. If I win it this year, because last year I came third. If I win it this year, we move in it. Bottles are on you. But yeah,
bottles are on me.
Yeah.
You're the one with the Sky Sports bag, bro. I'm expecting you.
I'm with him. I'm with him.
I'm staying with him. I ain't even got a ticket, bro. I ain't even got a risk that.
So yeah, we move, man. We move. Thanks for the plaudits. But yeah, guys, please, thanks for tuning in today. It's been a real insightful conversation. I think we're gonna clip some of these up because I really want everyone to hone in on that world-class definition. Do you get what I mean? We had some good points there from you lot, dropping in some good comments, and I feel like it's good to gauge where everyone's mind's at really with the world-class convo. But yeah, Banks, anything else? You think we missed off?
Yeah, just this last comment, man. Nathan, have faith. We're gonna upload more, man. Have faith. Next time we're gonna see you in a month. Next time we'll probably upload. Fair play. No, you deserve that one. Deserve that one. We're gonna make sure you're wrong, though. We're gonna make sure you're wrong.
If Arsenal go out, don't stream, I beg.
Nah, you lot got a 3-0. You lot got a 3-0 for Porto.
Listen, don't. Hey. Hey. All right, cool.
Enjoy, people. Have a great Sunday.
Yeah, cool.
Go and speak to your family. Be locked in.
Love.
David De Gea, 7 shots on target,
Looking
7
like he's
goals.
trying to
Let's
wing this one into
Let's go!